Hello. So, if your laptop gets hot frequently or your laptop hangs, can be your laptop, your PC, or your desktop. So, this is how you're going to solve the problem. Now, I'm going to disassemble the PC to get access to the motherboard because the problem is likely around the cooling fan, the processor, or the heatsink. So, this is where the problem will likely come from. So to be able to do that, I'm going to disassemble this particular PC so that I can get access to the motherboard area. This is a HP 630 PC. You can see, I don't know if this camera can pick it closely, it's HP 630 PC, and this is an old PC. But notwithstanding, if it hangs and it gets hot easily, it can be fixed. So I'm going to take it apart and then check where the problem is coming from. So like I said earlier, the problem is likely from a cooling fan. A cloth cooling fan can make the PC get hot, or your processor. The processor is bad, or the processor is working beyond its capacity. So it's either you replace the processor with another one, a higher one, or you just step down the amount of work you do on it. So these are the areas that we are going to be checking out, and I'm going to disassemble the PC. So like I said earlier, your own system might be different from this. So the method of disassembling it might be a bit different from what you're seeing right now. So, but if you're having issues with disassembling your own PC, you can just hit me up in the comment section, and I'll help you, give you a guide on how to be able to open the PC to get access to the motherboard area so that you can solve the problem. In case you haven't done already, I would like you to like and subscribe to the channel. I have great videos on how to sort and fix all kinds of office equipment, from laptops to desktop, printers, scanners, CCTV, PABX, intercom, and the rest. So this is my motherboard. I'm going to detach all the cables attached to it, and you have to be very careful when doing yours too. The cable, this particular motherboard has a lot of cables attached to it, different cables, flex cables, and all kinds of cables. So I'll be very careful while removing it. So I'm going to take out this screw here. This screw controls holds the cooling fan in place. So when I take this screw out, I'll be able to get the motherboard off easily. Okay, so this is the motherboard, and at the back of it is the cooling fan and the processor. So I'm going to set this apart and work on the motherboard. So this is the motherboard, and so this is what it looks like, and this is the heatsink. I'm going to remove this first screw that is holding the heatsink down to the processor. So I'll remove the cable that is attached to the cooling fan. Okay, so this is my cooling fan. I'll set the motherboard aside, and this is the cooling paste. So the cooling paste looks dry. So for this particular cooling fan, this is the issue we're having here right now. The foil that is preventing the air from going out is actually opened. So that is one of the major issues here. So the cool air is not going to the heat sink. Enough cool air is not going to the heat sink. Another thing is the cooling paste. I'm going to change this cooling paste. The cooling paste is old and dry. I'm going to replace the cooling paste. So I'm going to gently scratch off the old cooling paste. Another thing you have to look out for is carbon buildup. Over time, carbon buildup can be seen around this particular heat sink area, this area that I'm cleaning right now. Even while after cleaning it, you can see things like stains on it. That is carbon buildup. So what I'm going to do is to gently, with my screwdriver, flat screwdriver, I'm going to scratch them out. Not too hard, but I'm just going to gently scratch them out so that when cool air comes in, it goes directly to the processor and nothing is blocking it. So I'm going to gently scratch out the carbon on it and apply fresh paste on it. Okay, so this is the way it's supposed to look like, you can see. But because this one is bad, that is why it is open like this. So you can use your glue. And I'm going to glue this back. So I'm doing this. If you have access to a new cooling fan, I advise you to get a new cooling fan. But in a situation whereby you don't have access to another cooling fan, a newer one, you can just glue it back. You can still work on it and it will still work fine. So what I'm going to do right now is to glue it back. You can see I've been able to glue it back in. I've been able to glue it back into place. So it is fine right now. And then I'll just make sure that all the parts are properly glued to the heatsink so that it won't lose air again, because when it keeps losing air, enough air won't be able to pass through the heatsink to be able to cool the processor. So this area is also open, and these are little areas that the cooling fan loses air that should have gone into the processor. It's just been lost. So I'm going to glue all this back. So that is it, folks. I hope this is able to solve your problem. Thank you. I'll see you some other time.